Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for our tutorial on the Never Ending Book. And so to make this book what you're going to need, I'm just using book pages as my base. And so you are going to need, and you can make these any size that you want, but what you're going to need is 10 pieces that are 5 inches by 8 inches, 10 pieces that are 5 inches by 4 inches, and 2 pieces that are 5 inches by 6 inches. And you will score the 10 and the 10, you'll just score them in half. So you'll score the 8-inch one at 4, score the 4-inch one at 2, and then the last 2 pieces you will score at 1/3 of the size. So no matter what size you're making, if you made this, 8 inches by 10 inches, you would score it at 5. And then this page is just half the size. So, you would just go ahead and adjust that way. So, but that's what you're going to need. And so what we're going to do, again, we have 10 pages. These are 5 by 8. I just measured them so I could tell you the size. And you are just going to fold those in half. So we have 10 of those. And then we'll have 10 that are 4 inches by 5. And again, we're just going to fold those in half, which would be at your 2-inch score line if you wanted to score them. And then the last one is going to have one page that's as large as this, or one full half of the page, and the other part of the page will be the size of this, in case you're making it a different size. So I put a mark here at 2 inches, so I'm just going to fold it there. Like I said, you can score them. I'm just going to fold that there at the 2-inch mark, and you're just going to want to make sure that you make your folds straight and that you make them pretty close to the correct, size, so that it all fits together easier. So we're going to set aside these two and these ones, and we're going to start with our base. So we're going to take 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then let me make sure that I have 5 left. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I have 5 of each. I have 5 and 5. Now what we're going to do is 5 of them we're going to kind of lay down this way so that they kind of come up like this. So that's those. And the other 5 we're going to leave this way so that the fold is like this. We are going to flatten them out a bit, but we're just going to keep them separate because it makes it so that it all folds up easier when you're done if you do it this way. You can use wet glue, you can use stick glue, you can use whatever you would like. So the first thing you're going to do is just take the one that folds up, and you're just going to put glue at the top of that and at the bottom. Now, if you would like to glue the whole thing, oh, and on the outside here, you can glue the whole thing, but if you glue it this way, and then you want to line this up at that fold mark, and again, just make sure that you line them up nicely so that when you go to do your folding, it folds nice. And I've already got this one off. And you just want to line it right up to the fold. That's pretty good. Okay, so now we have our one that folds this way, and then one that folds this way. Now we're going to take another one of these. Top, side, and bottom. And this one's going to fit right into here, like this. So you're making an accordion is what you're doing. I'm just going to line that up as best I can. And see, now there's a little pocket here, and oh, the other pocket's on the other side. So So there we go. So now this one is folding up, so we know that the next one needs to go this way, so that the next one will be like this. So we are going to, and you can do it on either one. So we'll go top. I'm going to do it on this one. Top, side, bottom. Line it up as best you can. And then this one goes this way, so we know that the next one needs to go this way. Top, side, bottom. And really the trickiest part is just trying to make sure that you get them lined up well. You know, this one I'm off quite a bit right here, so I really don't want to be off that much. Take it apart while I can. I'm going to flip it over for a second. Just don't forget to flip it back over. Wow, I can't get this one to line up. Okay, so that one goes that way. So this is what we've got so far. So we know that this one, the next one that we need, is one that points up like this. And you can fast forward through this if you need to. This is the one that I'm going to glue on. So top, side, bottom. Now we need one that folds this way. Top, side, bottom. And just make sure you don't go over your fold. You don't want to bind up that fold at all. Just go really close to it, but not right against it, so that your fold still folds really nicely. And so this one is, oops, this one's going this way, so I know that the next one needs to go this way. Top, side, bottom. And it's easier to line it up on this one. So you could flip it over each time so that you always have it where it's laying on the table. Now this one comes up, so we know that this one has to go down. Top, side, bottom. And we've only got one more left after this. And then the very last one is going to go like this. And so there we go. And so this is what it's going to look like when you have the base put together. And if you need to make some adjustments, this would be the time to do it. But the way that this works, and you need to be careful when you're using your stick glue to like give it a chance to dry before you really keep it pushed together, or they'll glue themselves to each other. But the way that it looks is on this side, we have this flap coming towards you. That was the one that doesn't have anything glued to it. We started gluing here. So that's our first one, and it comes towards you. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, and the very last one points away from you. And that's very important. That's what gives you the never-ending book. If they both face the same way, it doesn't work as well. It doesn't, you know, flip over and continue. So excuse me, you can make it as long as you want. You could make it just 3 or 4. This seems to be like a nice amount to really, like, I don't know, make it continue. But so that's how you're going to do it. And then you're going to want to just kind of go through and just make sure that they're all kind of lined up neatly. Just kind of get them in line a little bit. And again, like I said, remember, you've used your glue stick, so once you kind of do that, open it back up again to make sure you didn't get them stuck together, like right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our 2-inch pages, and we are going to glue those to each one of the points. Now, when I first saw this, I thought, well, why don't, you know, like, we're doing this for reinforcement. And I thought, but that's going to make the page, you know, like different thicknesses. That's not going to be good. But you're going to do it on both sides. So when you do that, you've got this piece over here, and you've got this piece over here. And so that makes that page basically 2 pages thick. You've got your original one, and then, well, actually 3 pages. You've got these 2 glued together. And then you've got this one here and this one here. And so that makes your page the same thickness. If you were to do the whole page, you just have so much bulk. And that's why you do a half of a page on the spines, so that the spines, because you're going to be opening and opening, you want them to be nice and sturdy, but you don't want too much bulk, because otherwise you would have, right now you have 3 pages, otherwise you'd have 4 pages, one here, plus the 2 in the middle, and then you still have your decorative papers on top. So that's why you do that. And with those, you're just going to start with one of the humps. And now these ones do not matter. I do the top and the bottom and both sides and the middle. These ones, if you say, well, if I only do the top and the bottom, then I'll have a little pocket there. You won't, because your decorative paper is going to cover it up. So then you're just going to put that on there. Give it a nice press. Remember to open it back up. And then go to the next one. And again, do the top, both sides, the bottom, and the center. Okay, we just did that one, so we want the next one. And again, just make sure you line them up nicely. And that's the whole thing with your book. For it to work really well is just lining them up well. You know, take your time at that part, because, you know, it's going to be very important in order for that to just work smoothly. That time I went down the center. Top side, bottom side, and put it on the next one. Just make sure you don't put on the one you just did. I've done that a few times, then had to try and peel them off. because again, that would just make that too thick. Just line that up. And I do like to do it this way, like with the fold up. It just, for me, that seems like the easiest way to line it up, because you've got your fold in your paper. You can just lay it down over top of that. Make sure your top and bottom are lined up nicely, and you're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these two. Once I do these two, then what you're going to do is you're just going to flip it over, and you're going to do each one of these so that all of your points have the little sturdy piece on them. So I will be back in just a second once I get all those on. Okay, I'm back, and I have all of the supports put on the folds. So this support goes from here to here, and then the support for this one starts here and goes like this. The support for that point starts here and goes like that. Then the support for this point here. The support for this point is here. The support for this point is here, 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 and here. Now what we've got is all of these are doubled over because we've got the support from this side and the support from this side, but this page is not. And that's where our little 2x4 comes in. That is going to, we've got the support right here and nothing on this side. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the 2-inch support here. So now this is got a second page all the way across, and then we are going to fold this one in like this, and then that will give us that extra support on that side. And we're going to do the same over here. We've got the support coming this far, so our 2 inches goes on the outside there to meet that. So those two basically come together, and then the other one supports the inside. And so we're just going to put those on really quick. And again, with those, I glue the whole thing, and I glue the fold. And if you're using wet glue, I don't know that you'd want to put wet glue on the fold. I'm not so sure how that would react. So again, we've got a half a support there, so that's the side I want my half a page on. I think I'll line up my whole page first. Like that. And like that. Okay, so there we go. Now we're going to do the back page. Move that over. Like that. And then on this one, we've got a support right here. You see it right there. So we're going to put that one on there. And now all of our pages are the same thickness, and they're all supported and nice and heavy for this book. Now, we're going to decorate it next, and that's going to be in the next video. But if you want to go ahead without me, one thing to make sure is that the one that's facing towards you, you want to make sure that when you get ready to do your book, that is the one that's on top. Or just make sure that when you do your book, your first page opens this way. Because if you were to do it this way, then it seems to open backwards. If you were to make this the top of your book, the whole thing would open backwards. And so that would just be kind of funny. So make sure that when you do it, that the top, that it opens to the right, and then it will continue to open until you get to the last page. And then when you get to the last page, it's going to, again, open to the right. So just make sure that when you do it, that your first page, that you know that this is your top, even if you have to write top on there. As a matter of fact, maybe we'll just do that so that I don't do it wrong when the time comes. Okay, so this is our top. And then we're just going to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going till we get to the back. And then that's where it's going to continue opening. So this is our top. Once we get the first page done, then we'll know which way the other pages go, so I don't need to do it on each one. But so this is what we have so far. That is the base of your never-ending book. You can decorate it any way that you want to. I will come back and we will do the decorating process on the next video. Thank you very much for stopping by, I really do appreciate it, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.